The ocean is not just a body of water. It is a living, shifting mass of energy. It is a monster made of heat, a force capable of changing the fate of nations.
This is a super El Niño, a massive pool of warm water that disrupts global weather patterns. It is 1.5 times the size of the entire United States, yet invisible from the surface.
Most people dismiss it as just bad weather, a rainy season gone wrong. But that is a mistake.
When it grows strong enough, it does not just change the forecast. It decides which farms turn to dust.
It dictates which rivers run dry, and which global trade routes simply stop working.
It quietly redraws the borders of who has power and who does not.
To understand this power, we must stop seeing the ocean as flat and calm.
We must see it as the planet does. A living, shifting mass of energy.
Normally, steady winds, called trade winds, blow across the tropical Pacific from east to west.
They act like a hand constantly pushing warm surface water over towards Asia and Australia.
This warm pile is the warm pool, and in normal times, it stays pinned in the west. In an El Niño, those trade winds weaken and sometimes give out entirely. With nothing holding it back, that enormous mass of warm water comes sliding back east. It moves like a tilted bathtub, sloshing its water to the other end. A layer of warm water, reaching down 650 feet, spreads across thousands of miles of ocean. Because warm water is the fuel for storms, moving it is like dragging the weather engine. That is why this matters far beyond a wet winter. It is a dictator of the global climate. One of its favorite victims is a thin strip of water that the world economy relies on: the Panama Canal. The canal does not run on seawater. It runs on rain, on fresh water held in a lake.
El Niño chokes off that rain, causing the lake feeding the canal to drop significantly. That is why this matters far beyond a wet winter. It is a dictator of the global climate. Some captains pay enormous sums just to jump the line, highlighting the severity of the situation.
In a strong El Niño, Australia and Indonesia dry out, creating perfect conditions for wildfires.
At the same time, the deserts of coastal Peru are slammed with intense, flooding rains.
With nothing holding it back, that enormous mass of warm water comes sliding back east. The answer goes deeper than weather. It reaches all the way to the spin of the Earth itself.
A strong El Niño can change how fast the Earth spins, through a process called angular momentum.
When a skater pulls their arms in, they spin faster. When they fling them out, they slow down. The Earth, its oceans, and its atmosphere are one connected, spinning system. During a strong El Niño, that giant slosh of warm water drives huge changes in the winds above it. To keep the whole system balanced, the solid Earth underneath has to give a little spin back. The length of a single day grew by a little under 1 millisecond during record events. Your days genuinely get longer, but you are far too small and slow to feel it. This wobble is tiny and completely natural, not a sign that the planet is breaking. It takes a staggering amount of energy to change the rotation of an entire planet. El Niño does it casually as a side effect. just by moving its water around. Step back and look at what this single mass of water really does.
We are not watching a storm. We are watching the face of human geography get redrawn.
Think about what actually moves a civilization. Where the rain falls decides where food grows. Where food grows decides where people can live, where cities thrive, and which nations stay rich. A strong El Niño reaches in and rewrites those rules across half the planet in a single season.
Farmland that fed a region for generations cracks into dust. A reliable rainy season vanishes, and with it, the harvest.
Somewhere else, land that was dependably dry drowns under water it was never built to handle.
These are the slow, quiet forces that have toppled governments and emptied whole regions throughout history.
Ocean heat like this is not staying still or fading away.
Our oceans have been soaking up extra heat at a rate scientists compare to several atomic bombs.
That stored heat is the raw fuel that makes each big El Niño more violent than it would otherwise be.
We are not just watching the monster, we are feeding it.
So, a super El Niño is not really a weather event at all. It is a preview.
A demonstration of how little it takes to decide which parts of the world flood, burn, or go hungry.
The map you grew up with was never a permanent fixture. It is a temporary arrangement, and the ocean has just shown us how easily it can be redrawn. The ocean changed shape, and the map of human power shifted with it.
A mountain of invisible warm water turned out to be one of the most powerful forces on the planet.
And we are the ones quietly making it stronger. It is humbling to realize how much of our fate is steered by forces this far beyond our control. And if a single warm pool can redraw the map in one season, think about what happens when the climate tips the other way.
And locks whole continents under ice.
What actually triggers an ice age, and could it happen again?
That story is on your screen right now.
Go watch it.
The ocean changed shape, and the map of human power shifted with it. A mountain of invisible warm water turned out to be one of the most powerful forces on the planet. And we are the ones quietly making it stronger.